Good
Welcome.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daryl Coop Smith. This is my friend, Mr. Craven Moorhead, also known as Mr. Harry P. Ness.
Thank you for the monikers. It's been a while.
Also known as Mr. Chris Picard.
It's me in the flesh for another episode, a wonderful, fun-filled episode. This is number 102.
Oh, it is 102.
102.
I was going to say 102, and then I thought, no, maybe it's later. It's
No,
always
we're almost-
later than you think.
Yeah, we're almost at 103.
I know. No collusion.
No collusion.
But, you know, he is colluding right in front of our face.
He is.
Right in front of our faces.
Of course he is.
You know, it's just amazing.
It's a joke.
Please. No!
Hey,
Stop that now, Louie.
we have a new dog
addition.
in the house.
I have a new addition, Mr. Louis
Yes.
Louis B. Mayer.
We have a new audience member here. Oh,
Louis
he's so
B.
cute. Look at that face. Look at those
Louis
eyes.
B. Mayer, I know, he's such a good little boy. He's a Shih Tzu, which means he's a double defecator.
Yeah, he is.
He's a Shih Tzu and a poodle, and he is.
He's cute.
Let's show.
And
the
is he
people.
2? How old is he?
He's 2 years old,
Oh.
and that's his problem.
Here's Louie. And say hello, Louie.
Look at him.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm little
He's definitely
Louie.
cute.
He's very cute. He's
Very
very
fuzzy.
adorable. He's very sweet. He loves to be loved. He loves to love. I've only had him since last Thursday. Today is Tuesday, so he does not allow me to sleep at all. So I may seem a little bit over the crescent of rationality. Well, aren't you always like that? Well, maybe.
You know, that could be the name of an album if you ever make one.
Crescent of rationality.
Yeah, I like that.
I kind of like it too.
It's nice. Oh.
It's almost as good as Moon Age Daydream.
Yeah, that's
actually.
not bad too. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we're going to begin the show.
Yeah, get right
we have
into
much to talk about. What is new in the wondrous world that we can talk about? First of all, okay, just to mark this episode, we're now on the 24th day of the government shutdown.
Isn't it crazy? 24 days?
I know.
Now, national parks are in shambles right now.
Everything
Garbage
is just
everywhere.
going to hell in a handbag. People are not showing up at their
Yeah.
jobs in the TSA.
I mean, honestly, if it were me, I wouldn't work for free.
I wouldn't either.
Being
tell
noble
them,
is one thing, but what the hell?
what about our prisoners who are not being guarded or not being fed
Yeah.
because there's nobody there to
The
take care of these?
TSA, it's causing people to be
I know.
not only delayed, but risking safety maybe, you know?
A week ago or so, they shut down part of the Miami airport
Yeah.
because of that very thing. Uh-oh, Angie's laying down. He's taking care of it. Louie, stop, please.
Louie, please
Louie,
don't
Louie.
hump that dog.
Oh, man, I said, we gotta go. No.
It's going to be an interrupted show, folks. We'll see
It
what we
is,
do.
in fact, because Louie is
We'll do our
just,
best.
He's crazed, he's confused.
But he's cute.
He's very cute.
You can get away with a lot in this world if you're attractive.
That's very true.
And he's a perfect example of that.
You can become a superstar if you
Yeah.
have half the talent, but you're beautiful.
I know.
It's really the truth.
Yeah, and if you have a lot of Twitter followers, you're definitely guaranteed to get in
Yeah,
there.
but usually you get those Twitter followers because you're beautiful or you can sing or you
Well,
have
of
talent
course.
of some sort.
Of course.
Yeah, usually a lot of chubesque, heavy-set people don't make it big in the music world,
Chubesque, that's a good word.
even though some of those people have incredible talent.
I know, it's true.
Let's get right into it because we do have a big
We
show
have
for you
like
tonight.
12 things to cover, so we're
Oh,
going to
we
be quick.
don't have our clock. You want to grab the clock over there? Or do you want to just use something else?
I can grab the clock, yeah.
Actually, we have a clock right here.
No, I get it. I like that clock.
I know you do.
I like it a lot. But yeah, anyway, so would you like to give
Put it
the
on the
premise
table
a little bit of replicas?
Okay, Replicas stars Keanu Reeves and Alice Eve. I do love Alice Eve. I love Keanu.
Me too.
You know,
he's on a roll these days.
He is on a roll. He's done a lot of films, and most of his films, of course, are the interim. What's going to happen, Louie? What's going to happen after
John Wick 3? Are they going to leave it open for John Wick 4 or leave it as a trilogy?
So. I hope so. I got a feeling he's going to die at the end of John Wick 3, though.
Maybe.
Because they've had this in mind. These brothers who were writing the whole thing, it seems like
Yeah.
they've had it in mind for years how this whole
Yeah.
thing is going to develop. I got a feeling he's going to die.
Well, you heard that you're going to have a TV show about the hotel, the Continental, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
well, that's a great idea.
That
Is he
should be
gonna
this
star in
year.
it? I hope he
I
does.
have a feeling he might just show up once in a while because I think it might be a prequel. I could be mistaken,
Oh.
but I think it's
No,
a
that's not a
prequel
good
show
idea.
to show the
Yeah.
hotel or whatever.
Interesting.
Then it could be definitely he could show up. But if he
Right.
dies in his third movie, then it's not going to work.
Very
you know?
true.
So
Very
we'll
true.
see.
Well, we shall
But
see.
regardless, he's been working a lot lately.
Replicas, Keanu is a genetic engineer. He works in a
Yes.
lab with the guy from...
Thomas Middleditch is
Thomas
his name.
Middleditch. I like Thomas.
He's good.
He does those Verizon commercials.
Yeah, and he's on
all
Silicon
over the
Valley
place.
on HBO.
He did a great acting stint in a brand new film. I just watched the whole thing a couple weeks ago, which the name escapes me, but it was a love story with him and this woman. It was very
Yeah,
well
he's
done.
done a bunch of
He's a
movies
good
lately.
little actor.
I like
There's
him.
no question about it.
He's like the next generation of Michael Cera and
Yeah, kind of.
and Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, here he is.
There he is. He's
there
good.
he is, right here. No, he's very good.
Out of the three of them, I think I like him the best.
Well, he's a very funny guy.
He's good.
He's very good. But anyway, let's get back to this film. They're in
There's Alice
here they are. There's Alice, his wife. He's
Yes.
got 2 kids.
three
kids.
kids. 3 kids.
Correct, and that is important.
It is important.
And they're out on the road. Something happens. They drive off.
In a storm.
A storm,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
they hit a tree or whatever.
Something like that happens
They
in a
hit a
storm. They go off
tree.
the road.
Everybody except Keanu is killed.
Yeah.
The
And
wife
that's not a spoiler.
And the 3 kids are all killed. Here's the head of the genetic engineering.
John Ortiz, who I like a lot.
I do too. He's very good. Here he is picking up his dead children from the
drowning vehicle.
submerged vehicle
Yeah.
here. And so Keanu, because of his genetic engineering and because that's what his job is to kind of clone embryos, etc., to bring things to life.
Well, what they want to do, not to interrupt, the goal of this whole project is they want to take human consciousness and put it into a machine, into a robot.
Oh, right.
Remember that was an experiment
Yes.
at the beginning that
Yeah,
kind of
exactly,
fails.
exactly.
That's the crux of his work.
Very true.
Yeah.
I saw this film a month or so ago. You've
Yeah.
just seen it, so I
Yeah,
appreciate
I just
that.
went and saw it, yeah.
Okay, so Keanu, through this film, it's his job. It's now his obsession to bring his family back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to do that very thing, and that's basically the crux of this movie.
Yeah.
Chris, did I like this film?
I'm going to think you didn't love it. I think you liked it a little.
I liked it a lot.
You
to be
did?
honest. I did. I
Interesting,
thought it was
okay.
fun. I thought
Yeah.
it was a brainless kind of a movie where we just see it kind of plot along. It's gotten horrible reviews from some of the world, except I think IMDb kind of favored it to some
Like
extent.
6.4 or something?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I think it's just a pleasant little
Escape?
Mind escape. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed this film.
I enjoyed it too. And again, I always like Keanu. I love sci-fi, so this is kind of a cool concept.
It is.
I thought that, and I'm not going to give anything away, but I was liking it quite a bit. But I thought the ending
Louis! Louis!
Hey, you're interrupting my review. I think things got a little stupid and silly at the end. There's some things that happened that I didn't like.
Okay.
However, I would still say, check it out when it comes
Yeah.
out home on video or streaming.
For me, it's
you don't
a
have to
3-star
run out to
film.
the
I
female
like
I did.
Alice. I like Keanu.
Yeah, I think three is fair. I wouldn't
think
go
it's a
above 3.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But
Maybe,
it's cool. He does some cool stuff like in the Minority Report. He's moving things around
right.
in this
Oh,
virtual.
yeah, I'm sick of that.
I know, but we've only
We
seen
see
it a
that
couple
everywhere. In
times.
fact, that's in the new Night School movie with Kevin Hart.
Zero interest in seeing that.
I
one.
actually did not mind that film so much.
Yeah?
We were not on the roster to talk about, but yeah, I love Tiffany Haddish. I mean, she's
I know you
like
like
in
her.
everything
She's in a
now.
couple things now.
Yeah, she's in a new
Yeah.
movie called The Oath, which just came out, and that's her. And he's an actor. He's been on a lot of stuff. I can't think of his name off the bat, but bearded guy.
Okay.
It's fun. I didn't see The Oath yet, but I thought Night School wasn't too bad. Kevin Hart is entertaining.
You were able
He's
to
sitting at
digest him in this film?
I didn't mind him too much.
This was something I didn't really think was great. I didn't like that.
Yeah. This whole.
That's kind of what I thought
I
was
know.
stupid at the end.
It was kind of. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's
It's still watchable. If you like Keanu, you'll enjoy watching
Absolutely.
it.
Let's move
Let's
on.
move on to the next film.
The next film is.
I'm going to do this review because you didn't see the film.
Which one?
I'm doing The Upside real quick.
Oh, all right.
So The Upside is now in theaters. Actually, it was number 1 this weekend.
Yes.
It was number 1 this
I think
weekend.
Bumblebee was
no,
number
this was
1.
no Bumblebee went down, I think, to number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
this is Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. Now, this is a remake of this film, a 2011 French film called Untouchables, which is based on a true story.
Right.
It's
It makes sense
basically
that it would be.
It's about a
There's-
very
Put glasses on that guy. It's Stephen Colbert.
a little bit, yeah. It's about a very wealthy billionaire who's quadriplegic, who has the need for a new live-in health aid.
Did he have an accident, or has he been like this his whole life?
Yeah, no, it was an accident. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean they've. I don't remember the.
Bryan Cranston, the quad,
Yeah.
and here's
in
the-
this film, they speak of an accident that happened in the original film, which I saw when it came out in 2011. I don't recall exactly what the reasoning was behind his paraplegia. However, it's a similar dynamic. They're both kind of from different worlds. He gets an African American assistant from a different world, kind of almost from the streets, streetwise, where this guy is very wealthy. He's a business guy of the business world. This is in this film. It's Nicole Kidman. She plays the executive that runs this guy's pretty much his life.
She is the actress to go to if you have the money to pay Nicole Kidman.
Exactly.
She will be in your film.
She will be in your film.
And she's always excellent.
Yeah, she's always
I
good. And
love
she's
this
very
film.
good in this film.
I love her.
So this film is a comedy, it's a drama, but it has a lot of comedy in it. And they are really good
Would you
pair.
say it might be a little bit similar to Green Book, perhaps?
Well, it's funny you mention that because I thought a lot about Green Book while watching this because
Sure.
this film
It's a
has
clash of
and it
ethnic
has
worlds.
a very entertaining vibe, a comedy, dramatic, a mixed bag of fun.
Yeah.
This is, and it's a remake. Usually remakes go down a notch.
Well,
I
not
gotta
always.
say,
Sometimes the American remake, for you example, Birdcage.
I loved,
Love
exactly,
that.
better than
See,
the French.
And I
Yeah.
like the French better.
Better.
La
yeah.
Cage aux Folles.
Well, I must confess, I haven't seen La Cage aux Folles yet.
Oh.
So I gotta watch it.
Oh.
But for me, Birdcage
you-
is the first thing I saw, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to love it better. We'll see.
Of course
But however,
it's a
I will
totally
s-
different film.
I will say that I think I enjoyed this just as much as I enjoyed the original.
Okay.
Now, I need to go revisit the original again because I don't remember a lot of the specifics. I just remember loving it.
How
But
is
this
Kevin
film-
Hart in this film?
He's great.
Yeah.
He's very watchable in this film.
He's getting
good.
better. He's getting
this
better.
is probably the best thing that I've seen him do so far.
Okay.
Cranston is always as excellent.
Yeah. I
Now
bet
this,
they got along great on the set.
I'm sure
too.
they
I
did.
bet they had a lot of fun.
Nicole Kidman's in it, like I said.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people you'd recognize in this film. And this film's been in the can for a couple years.
Really?
Because this was financed originally by the Weinstein Company. And after all that stuff with the Harvey Weinstein,
Right.
the Me Too movement, the film got sold to, I think, STX, who then ended up releasing the film this year.
They just threw out Ashley Judd's case against Harvey
did
Weinstein.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'll happen. They're not going to win them all. But overall, I thought they were both excellent. It's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, it
I
looks like
highly
it would be.
recommend it.
Okay.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
All right, I
It's
will
fun.
see it. I will see
But you can see when it comes at home. It's not a
I
rush, go see it in the theater film.
I love Brian.
He's
Kevin
great.
Hart. As I say, Night School wasn't horrible.
And Juliana Margulies shows up too in a very
Yeah, I
nice
saw her.
small
Yeah,
moment.
very briefly.
I do want to touch on one point real quick. Is this current state we're in where people are now being offended by the fact that
Yeah, drink your tea.
I have been drinking it.
Okay.
People are offended that actors that are not paraplegic or disabled are playing roles now. And this used to be the norm. Actor plays a role, no problems. Now, all these people are coming out of the woodwork complaining, Bryan Cranston is not disabled. You should have a disabled actor in that role. Jake Gyllenhaal went
Who's
through
a disabled actor?
Well, that's my point, and I'll get to that. Jake Gyllenhaal went through the same backlash when he did that movie Stronger, which is all about one of the guys who survived the Boston bombing
Correct.
and lost his legs. They were saying he shouldn't play that role, boycott the movie,
Well, that I
you should
kinda
have an
recall.
amputee.
Yeah, but how could somebody
But-
play this
but here's-
except Christopher Reeve, who's no
He was
longer
dead.
with us?
Yeah, my point is this. I understand that, and I'm all for inclusion and fairness and bringing people to the table with race. I love when you can't have an actor that's not Down syndrome play Down syndrome. You have to hire a Down syndrome actor. You got to
Pretty
do
much.
it. That's something that's not debatable.
Well, they
but
had
this
that
kind
Touched
of a
by
thing,
an Angel show. I
Yeah,
believe.
they were. Well, that show was it 80s Enough with the character was Corky? Was that 80s Enough?
I don't
With Dick
believe
Van
so.
Patten? No, not Dick Van Patten.
No,
that's 80s Enough. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of
That
a
was
different
Touched
show.
by an Angel. There was the little.
Well, there was one in that, but there was another family show where one of the characters' name was Corky. And I can't remember the name of the show.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Late 80s. But my point is this.
Louis very entertained by us right now.
Thank you.
Louis will watch the television. It's very amazing. He'll sit on my lap and he'll actually, somebody will be walking.
And he'll just pay
Steve
attention,
Carell is walking across the screen.
he'll
He's
watch it.
watching the whole thing. It's amazing.
Well, you know that there are, I think it's DirecTV or one of the cable stations, networks, they actually have channels for
I know,
animals.
I know.
One
You used to be able to buy videos for animals.
I know.
And they'd have squirrels running around and.
one of my boss has a puppy. She's a blonde, whatever she is. She's a mixture of poodle and something else. Loves the Family Feud. It's her favorite show with Steve Harvey. Whenever it's on,
Really?
mesmerized, doesn't move.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Back to my quick point of this, and I'm done, is just that when we have actors that are, like you say, paralyzed or an amputee that are a star, then by all means, put them in there. But when there's millions of dollars on the line, I'm sorry, a no-name actor in a wheelchair is not going to open a film.
Once
You
again,
need
I'm asking
stars.
you, who's a paraplegic
Well, that's my point.
actor?
I know.
There are none.
That's why it's getting a little crazy with this backlash.
Maybe it's just
You
not
know?
the whole idea of having a paraplegic actor playing a paraplegic. Maybe they just want somebody who is disabled in one form or another to play another disabled
Well,
person. But
I can understand all the supporting actors
No,
can
that's
be
a-
that. That's fine.
it's a
But the lead
ridiculous-
has to be a name.
it's a ridiculous point.
Yeah, because we're getting to the point that, okay, you know...
It's
we're-
not even worth mentioning, in my humble opinion.
Well,
I say let's move on.
To me, I just think that you're getting a little crazy with the backlash culture.
Okay.
Anyway, I give this film high notes. I
Three and a
loved
half?
it. 3.5.
Out of
It's
4 stars?
very enjoyable.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Excellent.
It's so enjoyable.
All right.
Highly recommend.
I believe you.
All right, now back to the procession of films.
Roma.
We are doing Roma.
Very good.
Roma is a film that I'm sure some of you have heard about because it's making the waves in the critic circles and award circuits.
It's probably going to win Best Picture.
Most likely.
And I must say, rightly so.
yeah,
I must
it's
say, rightly so.
directed by Alfonso Cuarón,
It is.
who made Gravity, Y tu mamá también.
He did Gravity?
He did Gravity,
With George
Alfonso Cuarón.
Clooney?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he also did Children of Men, which is a great film.
I like
Very
that
talented
movie.
Mexican
Absolutely.
filmmaker.
No, he's very
this
good.
film also premiered on Netflix, but it does have a small theatrical release, so it can qualify for the awards season.
Come on, Louis, you want to meet the people?
It's a story that takes
Louis,
place
meet the people.
in
Say hello.
1970,
Hi,
1971.
people. Hi, everybody.
in Mexico. It's the year in the life of a domestic worker in Mexico.
Yes, it is.
She works for an affluent family, and she takes care of the kids. And it's all about their story, her story. It's a very
It's bleak.
bleak.
It's black and white.
very, but it's beautiful to look at.
I love the black
Gorgeous
and white.
photography.
The cinematography in this film is
Yeah.
outrageous.
And Alfonso Cuarón worked as his own cinematographer the
I
first
know.
time.
I know he did.
There he is directing, and
Yeah.
it's semi-autobiographical. 70% of this story comes from things that he went through growing up in a
I
family with a
believe it
domestic
100%.
worker.
A few points about this film. First of all, this young woman is absolutely brilliant. She's really
I
wonderful.
want to say her name. It's Yalitza Aparicio.
There you go.
Aparicio.
You know, it took a risk. You know, she's not a beautiful woman by any means. She looks like almost an American Indian right here. Just looking at her, it's just.
It's her first film.
It's about her life. It is about the tragedy that is Mexico and how it's really a class study of how people live and accept what they are dealt in
Yeah.
their life. She is impregnated very quickly by a young man. There is a graphic nudity segment where he's.
It's the only nudity in the film is him.
Yeah, I know.
He's
And
doing full frontal nudity while he's doing bow
I
kata.
think he's semi-erect, isn't he?
No, he's just
Oh, is
flaccid.
he? Okay.
But he's he's doing bow kata. He's showing off
Yeah,
his
he's
karate.
doing a karate thing.
The
And,
bow.
yeah. So it's very interesting. I have to say there's a brilliant little piece of cinematography. I'm thinking to myself, did they use a drone for this or what? But there's an end scene that takes place in the ocean.
Beautiful stuff.
And
That's
the
my favorite part of the
camera,
film.
I mean, it's wonderful. It also looked dangerous.
It is. Well, I also read that there was a lot of digital effects in this movie
Oh, really?
to make
So maybe that was it. Maybe they added the waves.
a lot of the film was manipulated. Yeah,
It looked like some of the there's two kids floating out in
Yeah,
the water, and
yeah.
she has to save them.
It's a great scene.
But the camera literally goes
beautiful.
out into the middle. Maybe he built a small pier.
Yeah, it could be on a-
could
could be
been
on a dolly,
pier,
yeah.
a dolly. But I don't know. It might have been a drone. I don't know how. He
it could
did
also
some
be
of
done
the
with
things.
Steadicam. You know,
Where
wearing the rig, they're stabilized. You know.
Oh, I don't see how he could have done that. The camera literally slides across, but they could
I think
slow
the-
it up, speed it up.
I think the pure idea with a dolly is probably the most
that
realistic
might be,
idea.
yeah, but this is the ocean, though.
Yeah, but they weren't that deep into it. It was only maybe
True.
waist deep. You could
I
build
know,
a
but
pier
it's
there.
very difficult to build anything in the ocean, though.
I know.
Because the ground is so soft,
know.
it almost seems
It
impossible.
honestly could have been a drone.
It could have been.
Could
a
make the
drone.
most sense.
Maybe it was a floating, maybe it was on water. Maybe it was on water tubes or something. This floating thing, but
Could be. Behind
it's
the scenes
amazing.
would be nice.
There's another amazing scene. There's one gratuitous scene I just want to talk about real quickly. It's so stupid, it's ridiculous, but he left it in because it was unique. You see two geese humping and having sex for literally about 45 seconds. The camera just stays on
I
them.
don't even remember that.
Yeah. You were probably off, playing hide the salami with someone.
No, I wasn't. I just don't remember that.
Yeah,
moment.
there's a scene where she comes down the steps, she walks off, and there's two geese humping each other on the ground, and the
Nice.
camera just stays there for 45 seconds. And I think he just said to himself, hey, it's not often you see geese fucking, so I'm going to put them back
I
in
have
the lid."
I have a footage of from back in the day of two geese having sex or two ducks.
Yeah, it was these are two
Outside
geese.
my
though.
house.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I'm not
Look at
surprised.
that slum.
I know.
Terrible.
Another fantastic scene in this that just blew my mind is there's a scene that takes place, I believe it's a gym or whatever. Excuse me. Everybody runs to the window, and there is a mass crowd that goes running down the street, and they're smashing cars.
Well, that's with the riots.
Yeah, the riots.
Yeah,
outrageous.
She was in a furniture store, and they're looking
Right,
down the
that's
street.
exactly, furniture store.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Here's the water scene we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a beautifully shot film.
Beautiful. He's probably going to win Best Director, and I would say that would be deserved.
I would
He
say
did a great job.
He's going to win Best Picture too. No
It is. I don't want it to win Best Picture, though. It's not
It
my
will.
favorite movie of the year. It will. I know it will.
I'll
But
tell
it's
you
not my
why
favorite of the year.
I would vote for this for Best Picture, though. I really would, because for the encapsulation of life that it shows and how miserably bleak. There's a scene. There's a scene towards the end where she goes into a hospital, for example. There's literally, it looks like 1,000 people there.
It almost looks like triage.
It looks
Yeah.
horrible.
By the way, without giving it away, there's an extended scene at a hospital that I've never seen a scene like that before, if you know what I'm talking about.
The birth scene?
Well, the birthing scene, I've never seen a scene like that before.
Oh.
Yeah, without
Well-
giving anything away, but I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, okay. It
I
wasn't,
haven't.
wasn't graphic by
no,
any
but the
means.
way, the events of that scene I've never seen before in a film.
Okay.
But,
This is a very sad
it's
film.
a memorable movie.
It's a memorable film. I think it's remarkable just for a year, or let's say a year in the life of this young woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a good look at the life in Mexico and
Yeah.
how people live and why people literally want to come to our country. I can't blame them one bit. It's such a bleak world. It's such a, and then again, that's all they've known. So is it bleak for them? No.
But I didn't leave
Probably
this
not.
film thinking about bleakness to that degree. For me, it was if you think about it, okay, she comes from a poor village, but she's got a good job, a live-in job, a decent wage. People that pay her health care for her.
boyfriend Furman.
Well, he's
sure,
he's a piece of shit, that guy.
Well-
and by the way, there's a scene with him that to me felt completely contrived.
Oh, you
When
mean
he just shows up out of
with
nowhere. That was not a true moment for
agree
me.
100%.
To me, that felt like, let's put this in there.
I know.
That didn't seem true.
I know he's not telling you what that is.
No,
and
but
I
he's not a
suppose
nice
he
character,
should.
that guy.
He's not
He
a nice
sucks.
guy, but he does show
Did
up.
a good
but,
job as an actor, though.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah.
Everybody's great in this.
I like
film.
the scenes that take place in the movie theater. There's a couple of them. That
was
kinda
kinda cool. Yeah.
I thought the family was cast well. The grandmother, the kids, the mother was, and it shows to show you just because you're rich doesn't mean you have it all. The mother of the kids in that story, she doesn't have an easy life, even though they're rich.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting slice of life. I mean, it's definitely worth seeing.
This film, some of the shots in this movie, like for example, this house scene that the kids live in, and mom. And so forth. There's some scenes there where there's a scene where they're all leaving somewhere. The grandmother is there.
Oh, yeah.
And you see the kids running down the steps. The camera just very, very slowly captures. It's a beautiful choreographed. Not just that moment. There's throughout the whole film. There's just wonderfully choreographed film scenes. How about where she walks across the street, full traffic.
Yeah.
There's full traffic. There she just walks across the street. There she is. She's here. You can actually have that thing.
I love that scene in the beginning where she's turning off all the lights. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It follows her one floor up the stairs, great stuff.
It's an amazing piece of work.
This must have been a very
say.
challenging film to make because he's one of these filmmakers that loves to push the envelope of long takes and inventive ways of telling the story just with the camera. He did a lot of cool stuff in this film, which he did in Children of Men, which he did with Gravity.
Amazing. Yeah.
He's a very, very, very talented
Very inventive
filmmaker.
guy.
Very great.
I gotta say, he will
He's
win.
got a lot of heart.
I
He's
think
going
he
to win.
will win. There's also a wonderful scene later on.
His second Oscar with this movie.
I'm not surprised. A great scene later on that I really do love is when they go to the place where the guy is learning that what's it called? Here he is.
The martial arts
scene right
sequence,
here.
yeah.
I love
They do a
this.
lot of kata and stuff,
right
yeah.
at this particular point, you see a plane fly by.
There's 3 separate times we see a plane come by.
Yes, at the end.
Yeah,
and 2 times at that scene.
Yeah, I was thinking about is there some kind of symbolism we should be looking for with the airplanes? And then I looked up the trivia, and it's just
he says right at one particular point, he says, did I catch an airplane? He's blindfolded. He doesn't even know, but he obviously can hear it.
Karan was saying that he goes, the reason there's so many airplane shots is because we wanted to shoot this film out in the real world. We can't do anything about airplanes; they're just there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're there.
That's very
There's no symbolism.
Well, they must be near. They must be near an airport or something.
Or flies. Well, it's Mexico
Yeah.
City. It's a major thoroughfare.
That's very true.
But overall, it's definitely a great film. It's on Netflix. You can easily watch it. It's most likely going to win Best Picture.
I will say this about the film.
And Best Director.
Let me give a little bit of insight to our beloved audience out there. It's not a fun film to watch. It is not a movie that you're going to enjoy while you're watching it, except if you are a person who enjoys great cinematography and great acting and so forth. But it's too long. It's 2.5 hours long.
It's a little long.
Way too long for my blood. But it's not a fun film to watch. Thank God it was on Netflix that I could just simply watch half an hour here, 40 minutes there, half an hour here, because I couldn't get through
I
the whole
watched it in
thing.
2 sittings.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
Good
I
for you.
started it and then I finished it later on.
But the end result of the film, what stays with you, is what stayed with me.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I love that.
Yeah,
What
I
stayed
agree.
with me in this film, I felt far more, I hate to say this, but far more relevant to me as a human being than my other favorite film of the year, which is Star is Born.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a, it's a wonderful Hollywood movie production. Great acting, I think, as I've said to you, I think Lady Gaga redefines acting. I really think she does. But at the same time, I mean, which film do I take with me to a more personal, higher level of just personal human importance? I've got to say Roma's hands down the winner. So
It is a film that I found once you gave it some time to start unspooling its web, you get
correct.
sucked into it. And I found myself looking forward to seeing the second half after I paused it for a couple hours.
Absolutely.
And I was excited to get back into it.
Well,
and then I was in,
she goes through what young women go through.
She's a very expressive. She does a lot of her acting with her eyes, which a lot of actors do, which I like a lot.
She does.
And
There were times where she doesn't talk at all.
No.
She goes to visit a oncologist, a doctor.
A gynecologist.
Gynecologist. Well, I think an oncologist is who you see first.
No, oncology is cancer.
Oh, you're right.
You're thinking of I know the word you're thinking
yeah,
about.
something else that women
it's,
go to for
obstetrician.
There you
Correct,
go.
right?
Okay, could be.
Obstetrician. Yeah.
But anyway, there's
But
times
anyway-
where she doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And she just uses her eyes. She's embarrassed about sex, and she's been sexually active. So it's quite an impressive piece.
It
of
is
work.
very well done.
I gotta say.
So we're gonna move on.
Let
we
us
we
move.
both really enjoyed
Yeah,
Roma.
I don't know.
I liked it better than I thought I was going to.
Yeah. It's quite amazing. It truly is.
All right, so now we're going to do a film that. Hey, how you doing? That you saw. I didn't see this one. I don't want to
Okay.
see it. Please do this as brief as possible.
All right.
Holmes and Watson,
I will.
everybody.
We should kind of hold this because I think you're kind of blocking
It's
a little
right
bit
here.
of the...
Put it here.
All right, that's fine. Holmes and Watson, this movie is absurd. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's so silly. It's so ridiculously nutsoid. And yet, I found myself, first of all, the plot doesn't really almost exist.
Yeah.
It's just little scenarios that they create due to the absurdity of it all. The
Yeah.
very hilarious scene with the Queen.
See, that scene
here.
looks funny. It's a self picture.
I know. And he's holding up this giant camera there. Here we have the beautiful...
Your girlfriend?
I love Rebecca Hall.
Yeah.
There she is. Here's a girl from... she played Sheldon's... I think Sheldon's boy... No, she's on Big Bang Theory right now.
Oh, okay.
He plays Holmes ridiculously. It's so absurd. I really enjoyed it.
I'll see it
Don't
on
go to
video.
the theater. Don't pay 15, 12, 11, 10, even $5 to go see it in the theater.
Thank God we have A-list, right?
It's a small screen.
AMC's A-list.
It's a small screen film.
Yeah.
I really I enjoyed it, I gotta
Okay.
say. Some bits work, some bits don't. It's hit and miss, but
Now, do you think it's kind of weird or not necessarily valid that all these people are walking out of the theater? I heard that about this movie.
I don't
it's
think it's valid.
justified?
No, I really don't. You know why? Because there were some hilarious moments in this film. I laughed my ass off. I truly did. I thought it was very, very funny. I thought Will is great. They do a whole little Les Miserables segment where they're walking down the street singing.
That's
and
fun.
John C. Reilly is great in this
He's
movie.
always great. I love
He's
him.
really great. And also Steve Coogan shows up out of the blue.
And Ray Fiennes too,
There
right?
we go. Ray Fiennes is in it.
Is he Moriarty?
He plays Moriarty.
Of course he does.
But John C. Reilly, Steve Coogan are now in Stan and Ollie coming to
I can't
theaters.
wait to see
I can't
that.
wait to see it too.
I'm dying to see
Outrageous.
it.
It's like an 8
I
point
know.
something on IMDb.
I grew up on Laurel and Hardy. For me, this is a big movie.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Love
killer.
it.
I can't believe nobody's been that Steve.
Hey.
Steve, he may still be nominated for Best Actor.
You never know, yeah. Because
But,
believe
you
me, the
know-
Academy is still about a week and a half out from their nominations. I
Okay.
can't wait for that.
Interesting.
That's
All right, let's
26.
move on.
All right, so you recommend?
I thought it was fun.
Recommend it for home.
It's not for everybody, perhaps. If you're an absurdist like me, I love goofy stuff.
Okay.
I laughed.
Yeah.
I laughed.
I'll
a
definitely
lot.
watch it at home.
I found myself cracking
At
up
home,
when
I'll watch it.
probably. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we're moving on.
Watson.
Watson? To Clint Eastwood's
Mule.
latest. We haven't had a chance to review this. We wanted to. The Mule. Very
Well, I
simple.
have seen the film now.
Yeah, very simple story. He's a horticulturist who ends up becoming a drug mule for the cartel.
Yeah.
Because he's losing his home and he wants to help pay for his family's daughter's wedding or granddaughter's wedding. But he's a deadbeat. He spent his entire life devoted
Diane
to his
Weiss
flowers.
right here.
Instead of his family, Diane Weiss is his angry ex-wife.
Right.
Allison Eastwood,
Plays
his
his
real-life daughter, plays his daughter, which I thought
know.
was great.
Lovely
Yeah.
woman.
Clint's
Beautiful.
returned to acting. His first time
90 years old.
since
Yeah.
The Trouble with the Curve in I think 2010 was his last film.
Yeah.
And then before that was Gran
He's
Torino.
being compared to Gran Torino
Yeah.
because he's a crotchety old guy.
Yeah, and this is Tessa Farmiga,
right.
Vera Farmiga's younger sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have Bradley Cooper and Michael Pena as FBI agents.
Right.
No. DEA. On
Yeah,
the trail of the cartel.
Right.
And this is based on a true story, by the way. It happened many years ago.
Not surprised.
Overall, I mean, I'm a big fan of Clint. I love when Clint when he directs himself, which he hasn't done as much lately.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this film. I
Did
liked
you?
it a lot. I have a feeling you may not have liked it,
You know,
but I
it was a
enjoyed
little
it.
slow for me.
But his movies are always slow,
But
usually.
I thought Clint was great. I
loved
loved his
him in this.
performance.
Yeah.
You know, there's some bar scenes I
Yeah.
probably would have left out.
He's also like a good Samaritan in this movie, too.
He is
Yeah.
indeed. He gets a lot of cash. He's throwing cash around at
Yeah.
a lot of people in his life. I enjoyed the film. I don't even know if I could go 3 stars on it, but almost I could. I think I would.
I love the
just,
scene with him and Bradley Cooper when they're at the diner eating breakfast.
Yeah, that's a good
and
one. And they don't know
They
who
don't
each
know.
other is.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I think he knows.
Well, Clint does,
He
yeah.
knows who Bradley is. Yeah.
Right.
But there was a scene where they had a run-in before that was really cool.
Right.
Outside the hotel.
Correct.
And it was that big beastly guy beating up the vending machine.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
No, that was fun.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed
was okay.
watching him in this
Yeah,
movie.
It was
and,
all right, and
of course, his movies seem to be slower though. They just really are.
it does a little bit. I mean, it's basically, he drives here, he drives there,
Yeah.
he gets the drugs, he picks it up, then he gains the respect of the drug
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
lords, and then he kind of gets off on the whole thing. Now he's, he's.
How about that scene? He goes down to Mexico with Andy
Walter
Garcia.
Wright,
Andy,
Walter White.
Andy Garcia is the big cartel
yeah,
boss.
yeah.
He invites him down. Remember that cool scene?
Yeah,
He gets
yeah,
laid with hookers or whatever.
Right, yeah. There's a couple scenes with hookers.
Yeah,
that,
it's kind of fun.
Clint's
His
kinda-
character likes to.
He likes to
be a patron.
Get a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes.
Lawrence
to,
Fishburne plays the
Right.
division head, I guess,
Correct.
of the DEA.
Yes, indeed.
It was a fun movie, you know.
Yeah. This is Bradley's second outing with Clint.
yeah,
Of course, they did
after
the Sniper
American
together.
Sniper.
American
Yeah.
Sniper. Yep.
And,
I didn't love the film. I thought it was okay.
I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it quite
Yeah,
a bit.
it was
fun.
alright. It was okay.
You could watch it
It
at
wasn't
home.
fun.
You don't have to. I thought it was fun.
Oh, I didn't think it was
I liked
fun
it.
at all.
There's some great scenes. Remember the scene with him and all those butch bikers, the women, and he had that funny exchange with them. That was funny. My dad and I were laughing in the theater.
Okay.
Packed house when I saw it.
All right, very good.
Overall, but I mean, you could see it at home. You don't have to rush out to
Yeah,
see it.
not something,
but I give it 3 stars.
Okay, I'll go 3 stars.
3? Okay. That
you
turns
go.
you over.
Let us
All
move
right,
on.
we're gonna move on. Moving quickly. I'm gonna do this review quick because you didn't see this film.
I did not.
So
Make it quick.
this is gonna be quick. All right, a film that none of you have heard of. This is a Bollywood film called
It's a Shetty.
Simba.
It's a Shetty film.
Shetty. Rohit Shetty is the director, who made a ton of movies over there.
Not surprised.
He's a big go-to guy.
This looks like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah,
right
no.
here.
This is the main actor. His name is Ranveer Singh. And I gotta tell you, this guy is spectacular.
Really?
He plays
Freddie Mercury.
pretty much, yeah. He looks like 5 different people in this movie. Sometimes Freddie Mercury. Sometimes Tom Hardy and Bronson.
Oh.
Sometimes he looks like
Tom Cruise.
Bradley Cooper.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And then the villain is really intimidating in this movie too.
Really?
He's great.
I like a good villain.
Yeah, he's good.
No, I
And-
will see this film because
Yeah.
you loved it as much as you did.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump to my review.
Oh, a little waterboarding.
I adored this movie.
Yeah.
It's about a corrupt cop who grew up on the streets as an orphan, who finds out that through another criminal that's kind of giving him the ropes,
Mm-hmm.
the ropes tells him if you want.
Subtitle film?
Yes, it's all in Hindi, English subtitles. This criminal tells him as a little boy, if you want real power, you have to be the police. They're the ones that run everything. And he goes, I want to grow up to be a cop. But he wants to be a corrupt cop. And it's all about how he excels at that. But then eventually some things happen, and let's just say he has a crisis of
Is this
conscience.
one of the musical numbers?
Yes, all Bollywood films, if you don't know, always have musical numbers.
They do.
But these are extremely, amazingly choreographed dance numbers.
Well, of course.
Money was spent on costumes and choreography.
No, they have the biggest film industry
Biggest
in the world.
The music is amazing. It's so memorable. The music.
Wow.
It's great. The movie is beautiful. The colors are great.
It's Indian music.
It's Indian music, but it's memorable songs.
Oh, okay.
It's catchy stuff. Like I want the soundtrack.
I know
It's not
you do.
available in the
I know
States.
you do.
It's 2.5 hours, by the way. 2 hours 40 minutes. I
Ooh.
cannot. This was my first Bollywood film. My friends and I went into it as a goof, not thinking we were going to love it. We all came out astounded with smiles on our faces.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't enjoyed a movie this much in years. I can't recommend it highly enough. 4
All right.
stars. I loved it.
Simba.
We were the only white guys in the theater, proudly.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody else was all Indian.
Interesting.
Now this might be just a
and this is a week ago tonight.
Last Tuesday I
Last
saw it.
Tuesday, correct.
Now, this might just be just another movie over in India. But for me, this movie was a revelation.
All right, interesting.
So they're probably used to these kind of movies. It was so
They
funny
are.
that
Yeah.
they had a dance number going over the credits. We were the only ones that stayed. All the other people
Oh.
who were all Indian left. And I was joking to my friends as we
Yeah.
were walking out that the Indian people that were in the theater were probably
They're
laughing.
so used to this.
Look at the gringos, the rookies staying
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
last song. You know?
Yeah, we've seen it 100
We've
times.
seen it 100 times. But overall, Simba, check it out.
All
It
right.
is amazing. It might
I
be
will see
playing in your local theater.
All right.
Highly recommend
Maybe
it.
not. It's not playing anywhere now.
Well,
You're right.
if you're in a part of the country that has a large Indian population like North Jersey does, you notice the past few years we're getting a lot of Indian films.
The AMC Palisades.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's 3 or 4 Indian
Oh, yeah,
films
every time.
every week now.
There's a big Indian movie that just came out at Palisades. We wanted to go, but none of the showtimes were good for
What's the
tonight.
name of it?
I forget. I have to look in my phone.
Okay.
But it's another big one. It's supposed to be really huge, action-packed kind of a thing.
All right.
This movie has it all. Action, drama, romance, a lot of comedy. It's just a fun movie. It's a
All
ride.
right. All right.
Simba. Moving on to the last film that's playing an extremely limited release called Under.
Did you watch that?
I watched it because
Wow,
I
very
wasn't
good.
going to.
Okay.
But I read the synopsis. I'm like, this sounds good. I'll go see this.
I told you, this is
Under
like
the
a
Silver Lake.
psychedelic.
Yeah.
It's almost a David Lynchian
Very.
kind of, you're following the
It's a-
rabbit down the hole.
It's a mystery. It's very noir.
Yeah,
The
it
soundtrack's
is.
noir.
It
It's from
is.
the director of It Follows, which is a cool little horror
I
film
love that film.
about a demonic STD, if I remember correctly.
Well, more or less.
Yeah, and the director of this movie, his name is David Robert Mitchell. Because this movie sucks you in. It's 2
It
hours
truly
and
does.
almost 2 hours 20 minutes
No,
long.
no, I
It's a
watched
longer
it in
film.
one sitting.
As did I.
I watched it in one sitting. Andrew Garfield is extraordinary.
Some of his best work.
I think he's wonderful in this film.
He plays like a very smart kind of a loser. Doesn't know what he's doing with his life.
He's
just sits around.
He's Joe Average. Here's
Yeah.
the beautiful.
This girl, Riley Keough.
She's in everything.
She is the granddaughter of
She's
Elvis.
in everything.
Granddaughter
She
of Elvis.
is.
She is
She's
luminous.
Lisa Marie's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She is
She
beautiful.
sucks you in. You're just
Well,
like,
wait
oh my
till
God.
you see her in the house that Jack built.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, that's for next week. We'll watch that for next
God.
week.
Well, that film will knock
Knock
your
you off.
socks
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
But this movie
It's
sucks
gotten
you in.
the house that Jack built. It's a new film. In fact, a lot of people are coming down hard on that film.
I know they are.
But it's definitely worth your seeing. It's a very controversial little thing.
That's a
She
Lars
is
von Trier film.
lovely. It
She's
is
very
great.
look at her. She's lovely. Just
She's
the best
just
word
beautiful,
for her.
but she's a great little actress.
She's very
too.
good.
I also just saw Welcome the Stranger is the name of the film.
She's in that too.
She's in that too.
She's working a lot.
She's working a lot. She's like that spare girl
Yeah.
that just shows up. That'll. I think a lot of people like her. She'll take her clothes off.
Yeah.
She's a good actress.
We
She's-
saw her recently in that movie with Pacino, the HBO documentary about Joe Paterno.
Right.
The film about his life on
Well,
HBO.
we also saw her in the Lucky film with Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah, Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky.
Yeah,
She
she
was
was
in
in
that.
that.
Right.
And then I think the first time I took note of her was in that movie with Catherine Keener called We Are Okay or something like that. You know the movie you're talking about? It's about like a dysfunctional family. I'll tell you in a second. Why don't you continue?
She's excellent though.
Yeah.
Okay. This film is just as bizarre as it can be.
It's really
Andrew Garfield,
weird.
he lives in an apartment complex. There's a pool out there. He sees a girl down at the pool. He kind of goes down. He talks to her a little bit. He's kind of entranced with her. He likes her. He goes over to her apartment that night. They are getting closer and closer. They're just talking. There is no involvement going on physically.
We don't belong here. That's the name of the film.
Okay.
Continue.
And so Andrew then the next day he goes down to find her, to see her. She's gone. It looks like the apartment's pretty much been cleared out.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone. She's been either abducted or wherever she's gone. In the meantime, there's somebody murdering dogs in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that was a weird
That
element.
was a strange little thing. We kind of allude to different aspects. There's some strange things.
This movie
that go
goes in some
on.
weird directions.
I'm telling you, this movie just takes you
Yeah.
into places. How about the one with the piano player? And he goes, you know that song?
Oh, that was like a 10-minute scene.
I
He's a
know.
composer. That was cool.
He's a composer, and he's actually playing actual
Yeah,
songs.
but you can tell it's a young actor that's got aged
Yeah,
makeup on.
right.
I forgot to look up who
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was. But
does
overall,
indeed.
he carries his movies in
He
every
really
scene
does.
almost.
He does, and he plays it just. He's Joe
Yeah.
Average. He's you. He's me. He's just the guy in the whirlpool.
This girl was good.
He's trying to. Yeah, wonderful. Everybody's great in this movie.
I love
Yeah.
the camera work. There's some scenes where the camera does a lot of like quick zooms up to things. How about that scene? First scene in the movie. He's walking back to his apartment. A dead squirrel falls from the tree.
Yeah.
And then looks up at him as it's dying.
I know.
Weird. Guts fall
And
out.
we have the woman across the way who's trying to seduce him.
And she's with the parakeets on her shoulders.
Right, it
Yeah,
looks
weird.
like, and she's naked out on the balcony, and it seems like everywhere we go, someone wants
Yeah.
to seduce him
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, this guy gets laid a lot.
I love the scene where they're in the Silver Lake.
Yeah.
And the girl goes into
That's
the
a good,
water.
beautiful scene, yeah.
It's just an amazing little piece of work.
Yeah. It's a little gem.
It is a little gem.
I actually
And-
moved it up on our roster because I wanted to.
Good.
Because I knew we'd probably spend a little more time on it.
Well, absolutely. And
Great
you know,
music too. Very noir.
Wonderful.
Very
A lot of
old
synth,
cinema.
A lot of old synth kind of stuff going on, but it just takes you through a journey. As I
Yeah.
say, it's 2.5 hours. It's going to go by very, very quickly.
And it's very much a mystery. He's got to find this,
Absolutely.
find that, go here,
Yeah.
find It was a
Yeah.
very cool little film.
It really is amazing.
Really took me by surprise.
I will watch it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Only because there's so much stuff in it to
Yeah.
just absorb
Yeah.
and to enjoy.
And there's a lot of character actors you've seen in other movies. Topher Grace is in this film.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Jimmy Simpson who's in a lot of stuff. He was in Westworld. He was the friend of his that he shows up at that one party. You've seen him a million times.
Okay.
He almost looks like that actor Dane DeHaan. I couldn't get a picture of him, but good film.
Yeah,
good
wonderful.
cast.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Very interesting. Very different film from the last movie this director did.
Yeah,
which again was
absolutely.
It
Well, that was a
Follows.
horror film.
Yeah.
This is kind of a.
It's
I wouldn't
got
say
elements.
it's not really a horror film. It's just more of a. It did remind me a lot of Mulholland Drive.
Very much.
Just
very.
that kind of
Yeah.
surreal layer upon. We just keep going through layers and
You
layers.
almost don't know if are we in a dream or what. You know?
Exactly.
Could be.
You know, there's a murder scene there where somebody is killed, and you know we don't know if that what is real, what is not real. The essence of any great
Yeah.
David Lynch film. You
Yeah,
know,
pretty much.
And it's I loved it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
liked
it
a
too.
lot. It's a 3.5 star for me.
Yeah, it's very
I can't
good.
go 4, I don't think, because there's just you know, as a film, it has its flaws. It's a little too long.
Well, I'm going to go 3 because I felt it was a little long.
Really?
But I still
I'm gonna
enjoyed
go
it.
3.5 because
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
just to me personally it got me. It sucked me in through the entire journey, and it is a journey.
Yeah.
As I say, it's Alice in Wonderland.
It is. It really
and
is.
it's him, you know, through the looking glass as he goes into the
Very
rabbit
much.
hole, and she's the rabbit hole.
She is.
And where is she gonna
Yeah.
her memory going to take him to find her? It's really a cool.
Very
film.
cool film.
Yeah, really.
Check it out, Under the Silver Lake.
Glad you watched it.
Yeah, me too. Because once I read the synopsis, I'm like, oh, this sounds good.
I told you it was good.
Yeah. Well, I know, but I can't watch everything, you know? All right, now, moving on to film fresh on your shelf at your local your local streaming platform. You can watch this on YouTube,
This is
Amazon.
the Over the Hill Gang, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
and this again is mostly a true story.
Uh-huh.
Robert Redford is a pretty much old man who's a career bank robber in and out of jail.
Yeah.
Who kind of strikes up a romance with Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek, yeah.
This film takes place in the early '80s. Casey Affleck is a Texas
Wonderful.
police officer
He's
on
great.
his trail.
I think he's great.
He's got Danny Glover and Tom Waits as his cohorts.
I know. I love seeing Tom Waits in
Me
this
too.
film.
I gotta tell
love
you-
seeing Tom in any.
Me too, I agree. This film is so watchable, and I'll say because of Robert Redford.
Yeah.
He is so likable and watchable
He's
in
very
everything
charming.
he's in.
He's very charming.
I was sucked in after 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's very good.
I love this movie.
I did too.
It's so good. It's just so watchable.
You know,
It's entertaining.
To me, it got a little. Plain.
Plain?
It got a little plain
There's
after
Waits?
a while. There's Tom right there. Of course,
Yeah.
we just saw him in the Ballad of Buster.
Scruggs on Netflix.
He does his own little segment on that. If you haven't seen that yet, that's a
One of
great
the better
one.
segments.
Coen Brothers
Yeah.
film. But Robert is the star of this. He's looking pretty good right
Yeah.
here.
I liked how they incorporated some pictures and
Yeah.
shots from some of his younger movies,
Exactly.
which is cool.
Yes, they did
Yeah.
indeed. Casey is the befuddled man trying to track down these
Yes.
guys. They walk into banks.
He's kind of very dreary in this film. He's not really happy about his career.
When is Casey Affleck
I know.
not dreary
He's
in a
very-
film?
that's true.
That's his personality.
absolutely right, yeah.
Look at Mississippi,
Oh, you mean Manchester by the Sea.
Manchester, oh my
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
I mean,
And A
he
Ghost
won.
Story.
He won for that.
He did.
Ghost Story. Oh my
By
God!
the way, this is the same director as A Ghost Story.
Oh, is it?
Who also directed Robert Redford in that remake of Pete's Dragon, the live-action version, which I didn't see.
Oh, I didn't see
a couple
it
years
either.
ago.
Hey, Louie, stop that. But Sissy's great. I love
Yeah,
Sissy.
she's good in this. I like
You know,
that.
you're telling me you didn't think you think Sissy is one of those women who doesn't really appeal to you physically. I think she's a beautiful lady.
Yeah, she's never
married
done
to
anything for me.
David Lynch's cinematographer, Jack Fisk.
Yes.
She's been.
I think she's a
married-
lovely actress.
Yeah,
but
she is.
She's
I think she's wonderful in everything. Robert is great.
He's great in this movie.
Does little horse whispering at certain
Yeah, a
scenes
little bit.
here. But it stays within the realm
It does.
of kind of sympathy for the old guy.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of the old Alec Guinness, that famous story where him and his buddies Peter Sellers and they go and rob a bank and. It's a famous old film. Gee, I can't.
You're not talking about the Lady Killers when
Yes.
they break into the bank.
There you go.
Oh yeah, because they remade that. Coen Brothers remade that with
They
Tom
did,
Hanks.
with Tom Hanks, which I thought was
Here's the director,
okay.
David Lowery.
There you go.
But what's cool about this movie too is that everybody who's ever been robbed by his character says he was such a gentleman. He was so charming.
True.
Really nice.
Which
you
I
know?
found kind of silly.
Interesting.
I found that kind of silly, actually, that people would just say that. Of course, this is set back in the 80s when they did not have cameras in banks.
Yeah,
so,
no cameras.
You know, that's
well,
the
no,
first
there were
thing.
some cameras because he finds some
At
footage
one
at one point. Later
at one
on,
point,
yeah.
They
yeah.
have to go pull the camera.
Well,
out.
most of his robberies were in the 50s, 60s, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the arc of this film is anything
really.
to write home about. I mean, it's just basically three good guys. Hey! Forgive me, I constantly have to
Well,
yell
just
at
let him do it.
No, I don't want him to do it
Oh.
because my little Angie over there is a little older and it's stressing her out
Oh, it is.
to
Okay.
be humped.
She's not into it then.
No, she's not into it.
She's
And
just not that into you.
He doesn't understand
Sorry,
that.
she's not into you.
Well, and he's trying to get into her,
I
which
know
is
he
the
is.
drag here.
Yeah.
But look at this cast. He's basically Tom Waits, Tika Sumter, Danny Glover,
Yeah.
Casey Affleck, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
It's a great little cast. You really can't go wrong. It's a solid 3 stars.
It's an easy watch.
Yeah,
Watch
it's-
at home.
it really
no
is.
problem.
It's great
on
fun.
all your streaming platforms.
I didn't love it. I thought at times it just kind of leveled out.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
It just kind of went across the bar to me. It never really, climactically, I think it just kind of ended. Obviously, it ended the way it truly did. I
Yeah.
didn't love the ending. I just thought it just kind of dissipated into nothingness.
Okay.
Credits roll. Goodbye, film. Would I want to watch it again? Never. No.
I
desire.
might watch it one more time because I enjoyed him so
Maybe
much.
your
in it.
dad would
and
enjoy
especially
it.
if it's his last movie, which he was saying that now was taken out of context. But
Yeah, but now he's made another film, I've heard.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so,
I thought
because-
because this film was shot up until spring of last year, and it was released only at the end of the year here.
Yeah, but he just said literally 4 months ago that he'll never make another movie, and then he just said,
Well, he retracted that statement. Yeah.
well, he retracted it, but this was made over a year ago. That's why
No,
I'm
the
saying
filming concluded on this film in the spring of 2017, 2018,
Okay,
and it
but
was
he only
released at the end of
said
the year.
he only said in like maybe August. He said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna." They said you're not gonna make
Yeah,
any more
and then he
movies."
was walking
Then he
back to
said-
statements.
right?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Hey, but if the script is
Well,
right,
that's what
I
he
have
said.
to do it."
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he's probably gonna make.
I hope
another
so, he
one.
makes
I think he
one
already
more.
did make another one. I think there's another one coming. We shall see. Look at IMDb.
I don't think so, to be
It'll tell
honest.
you
We'll look it up later. I don't
pre-production,
think so.
post-production, whatever.
So
Let
we
us
move
move
on.
on.
to
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. We wanted to do this last week. Put it off.
Bandersnatch. Yep. There we go.
Black Mirror is Bandersnatch. If those of you have been keeping up with Black Mirror, the 4 seasons, this is their first foray into a film.
Correct.
It's a 2-hour film that's
It's an hour and 30 minutes.
whatever it is, yeah. And the interesting thing about it, it takes place in the 80s, but it's a kind of based on those books.
Louis.
Those books from the 80s called Choose Your Own Adventure, which
Louis.
are books geared towards young adults that have little things at the end of some of the chapters. Where,
Louis! I'm terribly sorry, people. I'm trying to get this.
why don't you
dog
put him in
off.
another room or something?
I can't really do that.
All right.
Why
Why don't you hold him then?
Cry. I'll hold him.
So
All
this
right, come here,
film
Louis.
gives the viewer an option of where to take the story,
Terribly
like
sorry. Terribly sorry.
some of those books called Choose Your Own Adventures, where at the
Yeah.
end of the chapter it says, do you want this guy to do this? Go to this page. So this, at the end of certain points, gives you, click here if you want this character to do this,
Is this
or do
little
that.
squinty-eyed bastard?
This is
from
Al-
Detroit. Yeah, we've
Yes,
seen
Detroit.
him a billion times.
Poulter's his last name. First
Yeah.
name
And he's good.
escapes me.
He's a good little actor.
Is Will Poulter.
There
He's
you go.
good.
Right.
But yeah, so this is about a young computer programmer who's working on adapting a famous novel called Bandersnatch
Mm-hmm.
into a game. And so this video game developer and their genius who works for them is willing to work with this kid to bring in this game, and it's all about how
It's set back in the old
early
days,
80s,
the early
'80s,
days
mid
of
80s,
computer
yeah.
games.
And so this kid goes into a world of madness,
Right.
trying to get through this.
Everything had that Pokemon, Mario Brothers, that
Old
pixelated
animation,
look,
yeah,
old
like
animation look.
16-bit, 8-bit.
Right, and they're trying to
Yeah.
upgrade things, and they're trying to move along here, and it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Our little Will Poulter, our squinty-eyed
Yeah.
guy right here.
He's
is,
like a
he's
Bill
like
Gates,
the genius.
not Bill Gates. What's
yeah.
his name? Zuckerberg kind of a thing.
No, I'd go more into
Programmer.
almost more like a Bill Gatesy kind of. No,
Well,
more
no,
like
'cause
a
Bill Gates is more of a
computer
head of a
programmer.
company.
Yeah, I'll go Bill Gates.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Zuckerberg.
No. I'd almost go
Steve Jobs?
Apple. Yeah,
Whoa, where Wozniak and Jobs, that kind of a thing.
I'd go Steve Jobs.
But the thing is that this really then, as
Yeah.
you control the story, it goes to some dark places, and you can take this story to really violent, depths. Unfortunately, but you might have to watch this movie for hours to get to all the different rabbit holes it goes to.
Yeah.
because they had like 15 different endings. I only watched it for maybe about 3 hours, and I said I can't devote more time to this. But it's a really cool.
I hated every ounce of this experience.
I
Let me tell you right now.
I figured you did.
I watched
See,
this
look,
film.
Karate chop
Yeah,
dad,
right.
kick him in the balls.
Who cares? Who cares? I just want to watch the film. I don't
I
want to be
agree with you.
reaching for my remote
I know.
every 3 minutes.
I know.
Every 3 minutes you have to reach for your remote. I watched maybe an hour, let him go, kill him. Well, I'll tell you what, if you hit let him go, now it's going to go forward a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's going to rewind,
Yeah.
take you back to 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You have to watch the whole thing again until you click kill him.
Yeah.
Then when you click kill him, it kills him. Now, do we want to bury the body or chop
chop it
up
up.
the body?
I know.
So I say chop up the body.
I know.
But no, that's not the way to do it. Now we have to go back again. It rewinds
I
you
know.
back because it wants you to take their path. The film wants you to take its
So then just
path.
show us the film.
Just show us
I
the
know.
goddamn movie.
I know.
I hated it.
This
I
is-
hated it. I hated
I'm
it.
going to go with you and say I didn't hate it.
Oh, I hate
enjoyed it for what it was. It's an interesting experiment to give the viewer some control. It's an interactive thing. This is going to be really big for people that love video games.
This is good for
I'm not a
anybody
video game
12
person,
years old and under.
but I want to say
if you're
this.
16 and under, this is for you.
This
Maybe
was-
18.
For me, this was fine for a one-off. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I do not want movies and TV to all go down this route.
No.
I don't want to be spending 20 hours watching one movie for the. I don't want to do that.
Horrible.
Once in a while, okay. Not everything.
Scaring little Louie.
I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Take them, flush them. I said flush them.
I don't want everything to go down this route. I'm sorry. I don't.
Horrible.
But I enjoyed it for what it was.
Every 3 minutes.
It's a lot.
You have to make
Yeah.
another choice. You have to grab your remote and you have to do it. Now let me also say this. My one television that I have in my bedroom, I couldn't watch this film. It
I
just
know, you
shows the
couldn't.
film is only 2 minutes. I have to update your software. I couldn't even get into Netflix. Because of this film, they've updated their software and you must update your software too to even experience this.
Yeah.
A phone naturally is going to be able to play it.
Well, see, I didn't have any issues because I watched it on my computer,
Of course.
which has the web browser on it.
All right.
And then my phone, I had the latest version of Netflix anyway, so I didn't
All right.
encounter those problems.
There you go. I did.
But I can understand your frustration.
I couldn't even get into it.
I know you had to make a phone
literally
call, right?
Maybe 3 days ago.
That sucks.
I had to call Netflix like
It's a
3
pain in the
times.
ass. That
it was
sucks.
a big pain in the ass.
But I would recommend it, like I said, as a one-off experiment.
No,
I'm not
I
gonna.
don't recommend it
It's
at
not
all.
my favorite thing in Black Mirror at all.
Horrible.
But it's a good experience for one time.
Did you ever get to any ending?
Yeah, no, I watched. Like I said, I saw several endings because I spent a good 3 hours watching this movie.
Oh God.
But I don't want to ever
Well, you're
have
a
to deal
glutton
with
for
this.
punishment, and
Well, because I wanted to
I
see
commend
where
you.
it goes. You know.
Horrible. Let's get out of here.
Like I said, I recommend it for those who really love this kind of thing. Games.
Nobody
interactive
loves
stuff.
this kind of thing.
No, kid gamers are gonna love this stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
man.
I don't want to be seeing everything
Horrible.
like this.
And then
Moving
they
on.
rewind. If you don't do what they want
I know,
you to,
it takes
you
you
gotta go back.
The only saving grace.
10, 15 minutes ago.
But
It'll
the-
take you back, and you've got to watch it all.
But the only
back
saving
twice.
grace is that they give you that almost in fast forward clips instead of the
Well,
whole
true,
thing.
true.
Yeah. All right. So moving on.
Misery.
We're moving on to
Simple favor.
excuse me. A Simple Favor, Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, Paul Feig's new film. Paul Feig did the recent reboot of Ghostbusters. He did Spy with Melissa
I
McCarthy.
love that film.
He also did. What's the other one? I'm forgetting.
The
Bridesmaids. I said that.
Right.
And then he did another one, Spy, which I loved.
No,
One
you
more.
didn't mention Bridesmaids. You mentioned
did-
Ghostbusters. You mentioned
Spy. Oh yeah, and Bridesmaids. Got
and
it.
Bridesmaids.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the biggie.
So you want to?
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to. Anna Kendrick is a. They both have kids at the local school.
Yeah.
Blake Lively is married to this gentleman right here from
Crazy Rich Asians, Henry
Asians.
Golding. He's very good, by the way.
He's very good.
I like him a
He's
lot.
a good actor.
He's very
He's
good.
great in Crazy Rich Asians.
and he's great in this.
He's great here too.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick is really our star.
She's a star.
basically.
She's a vlogger. She's
Correct.
a mommy page on YouTube.
She is indeed. So she now becomes friends with the beautiful and classiness that is Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Blake Lively disappears.
Yeah.
And so
Blake is kind of a
the mystery ensues.
Free spirit kind of a thing.
Kind of a free spirit. She's kind of a
Hot mess in a way, though.
she's a hot mess, but she's says what she thinks. She's
She does.
on the blunt side. Here's Anna Kendrick's kid. There's Blake's kid over there. I think Anna's good in this film. I think
I thought
Anna's
they were
always
both good. I love Anna.
Yeah, I do too.
Blake is very good in this film.
Yeah,
And she's just so watchable, obviously.
You know,
Look at her.
she's just
She's a
lovely-
classic beauty.
She is truly a beauty.
And she's very likable.
Have you ever seen her high school picture though?
No.
It's almost as bad as
Yeah?
Kellyanne.
I'll look at that.
Oh,
look
she's
at it.
brutal.
I'm
She's
sure.
brutal.
Well, we all sprout.
We have
you know?
a lot of no, it's not sprouting. We're talking lots of facial reconstruction.
Oh,
Lots of nose job.
really?
Oh yeah, she is not an attractive girl. Her mouth looks like.
So she had a lot of work done.
lot of
huh?
work.
I'll
done.
look it up.
A lot of work done. Yeah, well, she was in the Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, yeah.
That was
I
her.
also think Anna Kendrick is a very girl next door beauty. She's very
Yeah.
likable.
No,
she's
she's-
cute.
she
She's very
always
talented.
is.
She's versatile.
The word cute really encapsulates her, I think, magnificently. We see her become, as when Blake Lively disappears, she becomes a little more amorous towards the lonely, quote-unquote, husband here.
Yeah.
This is a mystery within a mystery within a mystery kind of thing. Did I love this film? I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. The ending is so contrived and so ridiculous and so stupid.
Yeah.
And so manipulative. Another one of those films that for we, the audience,
know.
we're just taking you into, we just want to take you down this rabbit hole that Under the Silver Lake does so brilliantly.
I know.
This film does in your face.
See, this goes down to screenwriterville. What can we do here?
Correct.
You know,
What can we
and
do
I know
to
it's based
mess
on a
with
book,
these?
apparently.
What
But
can we do to mess with our
I know.
audience right as we're going to twist things
I
here,
know.
then we're going to twist things there, we're going to twist it again,
I
then we're going
know.
to twist it again and
I
turn it
know.
around and throw it in your face, and it's just a little too much.
But for me, what kept me with this movie and still would recommend it is, for me, it was Anna Kendrick. She's just so
Yeah, she's watchable.
likable. She keeps
She
you
is.
interested.
She does.
She's funny in this. You can identify with her character at times because she's a widow. You learn a little bit about her. She's raising a kid, and overall, I would give this film 3 stars, nothing more.
I agree.
But it's fun. It's entertaining. It's funny, and I was engaged with it.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
It doesn't.
It keeps you tongue-in-cheek the whole time. It has a great sense of humor
Yeah.
about it. I didn't think the mystery was very mysterious. It didn't catch me like Under the Silver Lake,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
the comparison. But if you like both actresses, and how can you not?
Yeah.
They're both great on the eyes. They're lovely to look at.
Yeah.
It's an eye candy film, pretty much for me. I think
It is, and it's a very beautiful film to look
yeah,
at.
it's a great little
Very well
film. It's well made.
composed
It's
and-
well done, and
Paul Feig always does a good job. And I love the
True.
cameo
Yeah.
by Linda Cardellini, who plays the artist that she goes to see at one scene. She was the wife in Green Book, and she's in this. She's the
right.
And she worked with Paul Feig many years ago in that show that I recommended to you, Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, okay.
It's a one-season show that I can't recommend highly enough. You should definitely check it out.
Where is it available?
You can watch. You can find it online. It's out there.
Okay.
Yeah, it might even be on Netflix. But this is on all your streaming platforms, Amazon, whatever,
Interesting.
YouTube, Google Play. But it's not on Netflix. But let's check it out. It's an easy watch.
Okay.
We said 3 stars at best.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's entertaining.
It is. We're going to now.
Okay, we're gonna go to Wildlife.
Wildlife is a film which is significant because it's the directorial debut of Paul Dano,
Yep.
the brilliant actor that we've seen in so many things.
Yep.
You'll see him come up in a second here. But this stars Jake Gyllenhaal. There's Paul Dano, not the greatest pick in the world. And in the film, Jake Gyllenhaal's wife is played by the wonderful Carey Mulligan.
Who almost looks like a Katie Holmes clone in there.
And Michelle Williams sometimes. Not in this movie, but a lot of
mostly
times.
Katie Holmes
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I thought she almost at times I thought it was Katie Holmes, but
Yeah, she's
I
got
think
dark hair.
Carrie is wonderful in this movie.
She's great. This takes place in 1960 in Montana.
There you go.
And it's basically about a marriage falling apart, the essence of what it is.
Basically,
It's a kind of a
bleak.
sad movie to watch.
It truly is.
The son is caught in the middle. He's very bright. He's trying to help his parents. He's very good. His name is...
No, he's very good.
Ed Oxenbould.
There he is.
You know who I liked a lot in this movie, and he's a great character actor, is the man that she becomes involved with.
Oh, right.
Bill Camp is the actor who I first took note of in that HBO miniseries a couple years ago called The Night Of, which was very good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one with what's his name?
Riz Ahmed, the kid that was in Rogue One.
No. What's
Turturro. Turturro was the
John
star.
Turturro.
Yeah,
right.
Very good show. Check it out, The Night Of.
I never saw.
But I like this film. It's an interesting debut for a director. It's got some really haunting moments. The music is very haunting.
Yeah, it's stark. It's
Good acting.
Not a lot
but
of action
I'll never
going
watch
on.
this movie
No,
again.
there's not
Very
a lot of,
bleak.
Yeah, not a lot. I didn't think that he was very realistic. This
No?
young guy.
You like
I thought he was a little too angelic in a way.
He was a good son.
He's a little too good.
You know who he looks like? He's a dead ringer for a young Dax Shepard.
Oh yeah,
I got a picture coming up.
No,
Watch the
I
comparison.
kept trying to think who the hell does
The
he
kid,
look
watch,
like?
coming up next. Not
No,
him.
there's Jake.
Well, anyway, I do have a shot of him in here, Dax
Yeah.
Shepard. Looks
I
like
gotta say, Jake Gyllenhaal, Carrie,
as always,
spectacular.
They're both great.
The movie just didn't have enough guts to really keep you
No.
watching.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I didn't think there was really much there to keep me motivated. I watched the first, I'm going to say 20 minutes or so, and then I had, it was torture for me to go back to this.
I kind of felt that her character was very hard on Jake Gyllenhaal's character. He's doing what he can to keep the family
I
going.
know.
He goes to volunteer to fight
Yeah.
these wildfires, and she goes out gallivanting while he's gone. She doesn't respect
she
him.
feels that, she doesn't respect him. She feels that he's not a good husband. He's not a good provider. He takes a job for $1 an hour fighting wildfires.
Yeah.
Which probably
But
is
he
a better
wasn't
name
making,
for this film, by the way.
Well, that's why I thought the title was Wildfire first.
I know.
But he wasn't making much more than that when he was working at the country club, which
There
we
you
see
go.
him. There's Dax Shepard.
Yeah, he does look like the kid.
But he was making they said for 2 weeks worth of work at one scene, he got an $80 paycheck at the country club.
Oh.
Well, then that translates for 2 weeks, 40 hours a week, to $1 an hour.
There you go.
And he's risking his life now to do it in a wildfire. Whatever.
Yeah.
I liked the performances. That's really what I took away from this.
Yeah.
It's an interesting debut for a first film.
Yeah,
which,
Carrie doing her little
Yeah.
sleazy bit to
Little
impress
bit.
the neighbor.
Yeah. And
the
Paul
wealthy
Dano
neighbor.
co-wrote this film with his
Girlfriend.
girlfriend,
I know.
Zoe, what's her name?
I know.
Zoe Kazan.
Yep.
But,
Who plays the girl at the very last scene of Buster Scruggs.
Yes, she shows up in that
She's
one
in there.
sequence.
She's
yes.
killed, as a
She
matter of
does,
fact.
yeah. You're right. That was a
Yeah.
good, fun scene.
It wasn't fun, but it was.
I enjoyed
that was
it.
the
That was
bleakest.
my least favorite, but there was something.
Me too.
I liked the scene with the shootouts. That's Bill Camp.
Yeah.
The guy that was.
all right.
Yeah. I couldn't
God.
find a picture of him from this movie.
Shit, I didn't even recognize
That's him.
There he looks
He's
like a
great.
real guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
he
saw
looks
an
like an old stodgy
He does.
guy
yeah.
in the film.
But there's a good article about him I read. It was called "He is Hollywood's Most Valuable Character Actor."
Yeah.
And I would agree. He's great. But
Yeah.
overall, I honestly,
You don't take much away from this.
I can't recommend it.
Nah.
It's just so depressing.
It is depressing.
And I'm not one to just shy away from depressing
Might
movies,
be a good
but
double feature with Revolutionary Road.
yes,
With
I was
Kate,
just thinking that.
with Kate and
And Leo.
Leo
But
just
to
hating
me,
each other the whole time.
That's a Sam Mendes film, and a great Michael Shannon performance in that film. For me, that's
Yeah.
a much superior film.
I agree.
I adore that movie.
Do you?
That movie is so well acted.
Oh, I can't watch that. Film.
But it's a tough one to sit through.
It is.
Yeah.
The constant arguing is
Yeah.
just horrible.
But
What a-
overall,
what a horrible.
you can check this out once.
Yeah.
It's not going to change your life. It might depress you.
The ending is as depressing.
But it's very
as
well
the-
directed. It's very
No,
well done.
no, it's beautifully acted.
I
It's
applaud his
beautifully
efforts.
Shot,
Yeah.
but sometimes a pretty postcard does not
Yeah.
bring anything to heart.
Exactly.
And that's where this movie
I
does
agree.
not really enter your heart.
No.
Mary. I felt nothing for anybody. I felt a little compassion for this poor little guy.
And I felt bad for Jake a little bit, though. He's trying his
a
best.
little bit when he comes back and she.
Although he is very prideful. He could have gone back to another job that he didn't want to.
Right,
out of
they offer
pride.
his job back
Yeah.
at the country club.
Yeah, at the country club.
Yeah.
However, whatever, you know what? I understand. If somebody fires you, sometimes you want to do that. You don't want to go
Okay.
crawling back.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It's a two. I took away from it a 2-star film, but it's really on the merits of performance and acting and script
I'm
and
gonna
everything.
go 2.5.
It's almost a 3-star
Almost
film,
a
just
3-star.
technically.
Yeah.
It's a 3-star film, but from what you, as I
Yeah.
say, take away from it, 2 stars.
It was. Yeah, I agree.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Never want to see it again.
No, me
Do we
neither.
have anything left?
Just what you're gonna real quick touch on.
I'm going to talk about Bruce.
Springsteen on Broadway.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the icon, the amazing person, one of the best.
He is a unique guy.
One of the best autobiographies I've ever read in my life is this man's Born to Run autobiography. It's right up there for me with Miles Davis's autobiography.
What year was that published?
Amazing. What? This?
His autobiography, was it recent?
2 years. A year ago? 2 years.
I'd read that.
No, 2017,
Cool.
I believe it.
Him and
came
his
out.
wife.
Here's Patty Scarfia right there. I'll tell you, he's amazing. He talks. It's amazing how
It's almost like that the thing they used to have on VH1, Storytellers. Seems like that's
pretty
kind
much
of what this is.
It is kind
And
of.
if you don't know, this is when he was on Broadway for the past year and a half, and this was the last performance, which was very recent.
Absolute. Yeah, this was. Just
I'm gonna watch
filmed.
this.
You should.
I just
watch
haven't
it.
gotten to it.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to capture you first and foremost about this movie is his sense of humor is hilarious.
That's awesome.
He says, here I wrote about Thunder Road. I couldn't even drive a car back in those days.
That's funny.
I couldn't do anything. I've never worked a 5-day-a-week job until now doing this show.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. He's so good. He's so heartfelt. The man has such compassion for people and life, and he feels like a blue-collar
Yeah.
Joe in every aspect of his life, but he's such an intellect.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the way he touches on his own feelings and is able to generate
Definitely
those.
gonna watch this.
I don't know many human beings on this planet that are in such touch with things that we all experience, but he's able to put them into words. It's amazing. If you have not read his book, or you should get it on his. He does the whole unabridged.
Oh, I'll
version.
get the audiobook.
Get the audiobook.
I'll probably get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I have credits coming to me on Audible, so I'll just get it.
It's very inexpensive. You can buy it for $20 on Amazon.
Well, I have
as a matter of
I have an
fact.
Audible app on my phone. I have
Yeah.
a monthly plan, and I
Yeah.
get a credit a month. So
He plays piano. He plays.
does he do Dancing in the Dark?
He does do dancing.
Does he
in
do
the
Streets
Dark?
of Philadelphia?
No.
Ah,
No, he does
one of
not.
my favorites.
No, he does a great blues version of Born to Run.
I'll be honest, that song I don't ever need to hear it again.
Oh, I love Born to Run.
Never need to hear it
I
again.
love the song. Well,
Never
actually, he
need-
does Born to
Born
Run
to-
towards the end, but he does Born in the USA
Never need
with a
that either.
slide. Born in the
I don't
USA.
never need to hear that song again either.
Well, I understand, but he does it totally
That's
different.
cool.
He does it with a slide. He's got a.
Oh, that's
he's
cool.
got a
All right,
capo.
I'll give him time.
He's got he does a slide guitar blues version. Sounds totally different. It's really about his growing up, his
All right.
father, his depression, all the depression that he's experienced. He never was acknowledged by his dad, like most. Some of the greatest stars we have in this world are not acknowledged by one of their parents and so forth as they were growing
Which is
up.
depressing. It's almost like, is that the vital ingredient necessary for greatness?
It seems to
Can
be
you be great without that?
One of the vital things is your parents split up.
Yeah.
and one of your parents doesn't really give too much of a damn.
Oh, you're in for some great
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself to you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. I'm Daryl Smith.
It's the recipe for DKS
Hated
here.
by my mother, and the parents broke up when I was 13 years old.
I'm the polar opposite. Both my parents loved me. My mother died. They didn't get divorced. They both were always complimenting me and my sisters, and it was amazing home
and
life.
who's the more talented of the two? I ask you.
I
ladies and-
disagree.
But there
We're
you go.
talented in
But
different ways.
We are indeed.
You're the comedian.
I'm the comedian. There you go. But Bruce
I'm the actor.
is a wonderful, wonderful show. It's 2.5 hours
Does he
long.
do Downbound Train?
No. He does Ghost of Tom Joad. I mean, he only does about 10 songs.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the story.
Well, that's cool. That sounds good.
And the story, it's the intro, the story, and then the song.
Nice.
Then
Okay.
he goes on to the next one, and it's amazing.
Cool.
So,
Well, I'm definitely
brings
going to
back-
watch it.
It's really
Yeah.
worth watching.
Cool.
It's really a wonderful experience. I can't tell you enough. I love it.
Great. Well,
I
it sounds
really
good.
did.
I'm looking
So
forward to seeing
I
it.
have no real desire to see it again, though.
All right.
In the wonderful world of. Let's get to what's
Well,
opening this week.
Basically, this week, all that's opening is we only get really one big movie. That's Glass.
Yeah, there you go.
The third film in the M. Night Shyamalan Unbreakable trilogy.
Unbreakable,
Split was the
Split,
second one, if you didn't know.
and Glass.
And then now we have Glass, which
Yep.
looks good. I'm going to go see it.
There you go.
Looking
Me too.
forward to it.
Me too.
Bruce Willis and Samuel are back together.
I know.
It looks like fun.
No, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
And M. Night is Mr. Shyamalan,
Yeah.
who has become, who is noted for being probably one of the worst directors on our planet, has now redeemed
Well,
himself.
yeah, he started great. He had a big slump.
Well,
and
The
now he's
Sixth
coming
Sense,
back.
one of the best horror films ever made.
That's one of your favorite films of all time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love The Sixth Sense
a
with
great
Haley
movie.
Joel Osment.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of work.
Yeah.
Then, of course,
Fine.
then he just started to spiral. His
I know.
second film was
Unbreakable,
Unbreakable.
which I liked a lot.
I didn't care for this.
Then I believe he did The Village, which I didn't
No,
love.
you're missing.
And he did Signs.
Signs was number 3, I believe.
No, I think Signs was after Village.
Was it?
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Well, let's see. 99 was Sixth Sense. 2000 was Unbreakable. And then maybe it was Signs.
I think it was Signs and then The Village
I
came.
thought The Village came before that, though.
Yeah, because I like
Okay,
Signs.
We'll let you know right now.
But I did not like.
I didn't care for The Village as
Yeah.
much. I loved Signs. That was great.
Me
Mel
too.
Gibson.
Yeah, and I love the creature in that. The Martian or whatever it is wonderful.
No, you're right. Signs was 2002.
Exactly.
And The Village was 04.
There you go.
So Signs was his third film.
Then he began to spiral
stand-
downward.
Well, after that, then
Then he did The Happening.
Well, he did Lady in the Water in 06, which
One
was
of the
a
worst
stinker.
films ever made.
Then The Happening and Airbender, After Earth. I mean, they just kept going down.
Bad and
But
worse.
then
to
you
worse.
say The Visit is when he started coming back
The
up.
Visit is a good
in
little
2015.
film. I like The Visit a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping this will be good. I'm going to check it out.
Me too. Me too.
So that's
We will
our
be
show,
there.
folks. That's
That is
our
our
roster.
show. We've been there. We've done that, and
Yeah.
I think it was a good week.
Next week, we'll be reviewing Glass amongst a bunch of other things.
Yep. Notably this week, what was your favorite film?
Of everything I watched, I gotta say that I enjoyed the most. I mean, honestly, I gotta say, of everything I've seen, I gotta say Simba was probably my favorite
Okay.
out of everything. But then I gotta say it's a close tie for second with either The Upside or Under the Silver Lake.
Okay.
Those would be the three.
I didn't see those two top films you've named, but
For you, it was probably what, Silver Lake and then Roma?
I
vice
guess so.
versa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked Roma. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, or vice versa, interchangeable.
Oh, okay.
Roma or Lake.
No, Roma's
Ro-
a classic.
I know it is a classic.
Roma
it is
is
gonna,
a classic.
It is going to go down as a
Will go
classic.
down
I
as
agree.
just a year in the life of a peasant type
Yeah.
person. I say peasant because I'm a middle class guy, and I you
Yeah.
know in Mexico she is the norm.
Yeah.
You know, everybody is living that life. It's survival.
Yeah.
It's survival. I was very moved by it. Tears did flow down my face at the end of the film because of the hardship that we take for granted in this country.
I know.
We are all privileged. We have a good life in the United States of America. It's gone down a bit in the last 2 years, but hopefully in the next 2 years.
Well, it's been going down longer than the past 2 years.
No.
The last decade or so.
Oh, I disagree.
I think so.
Oh, I don't think so. I think we've remained and stayed pretty constant. I think the last 2 years we've seen a big decline in our privileges are trying to be cut out. a lot of the norms that we take for granted are being crushed by Mr. Trump. He's doing everything.
But we're
he
not
can.
seeing any of those things in everyday lives.
Well,
on paper, these things are happening.
On
But we're
paper,
not
these
seeing
things
it.
are happening, but he's.
But wages have stagnated. The rich are just getting richer with every decade.
Yeah.
None of that's changing. The
True.
poor are getting poorer. The gap between the wealthy and the middle, in the have-nots,
There's
are
only
getting bigger and bigger and
1%
bigger.
of this country, or I think it's 2% of the country, has more money
Than
than
everybody
the other
combined.
98%
And
combined.
that's only getting worse.
Yeah, it is.
Because of
It
the
is.
oligarchy that runs this country. It's really not
Very true. It is
on
it is
paper.
a money regime that
It's a big joke.
that takes us for the ride that we
Yeah.
are now experiencing more of a roller coaster on a daily basis due to our current administration, and that's a sad thing. But you're correct. We don't really not seeing the change right now in our life. So
We might see it in 10 years.
thank you very
who
much,
knows?
ladies and gentlemen.
But we will see you next week.
We shall see you next
for episode
week.
103.
Hopefully we'll be back.
And we look forward to it. So have a good night. Have a good week.
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, let's just